Okay, YouTube, hello again. This is my waste oil burner burner unit. So anyway, what I've done is there's a 1/2 inch pipe runs down the centre of this 1 inch steel pipe, 1/2 inch copper. That's it there in the middle. I've blocked off the end of the 1 inch pipe. The air blows out this hole here. There's 3 of them, so spaced at about 130 degrees apart, or 120 degrees apart rather. This is a bracket just for bolting it directly into the stove. Some 1/2 inch copper pipe just to extend on the tube, and that's more or less it. And I'm going to stick it in the stove now, or in the side of the tank rather. So here we go. That's it, and it's a simple little effort. It's but very, very good. So that's more or less it in the stove, and I'm just going to use my little battery powered impact driver. And that's it. And this guy goes, let's strip a bit of oil on me. It goes onto this. Just tighten up the nuts. And same again, my little battery impact driver. But I think they're 8mm tech screws. And that's it. So I just tighten it up. And that's how easy it is to install it in the stove, and that could be any stove. I have one more screw to put in it, but yeah, any stove, anything that you can drill kind of a 44mm hole in. So that's it. That's a burner fitted in, I don't know what you want to call it, waste oil stove, waste oil propane tank conversion. But that's it. That's the burner unit in there, and I'm going to move positions now, and I'll light it. Okay, hello YouTube. Here we go again, more waste oil burner experiments. So we've got my my propane tank, my converted propane tank converted into a dual use, solid fuel, coal, logs, wood, whatever you've got. It'll burn all of that, and or if you wanted to burn waste oil, vegetable oil, motor oil, whatever you want, it'll do it as well. So anyway, okay, down here, one of the guys on YouTube, Norman Roy, suggested that I put a tin can, like a dog food tin, baked bean tin, whatever, and that's what this is. Underneath down here is the vaporizing pot. Up here, I think you can see it. That's where the original oil boiler or oil burner went in. The gravity fed, non-fan assisted. It just works on the suction on the flue, and hot gas is rising up the flue, pulling more air in. But anyway, this one today is a fan assisted flue, fan assisted burner, and you've seen it before. So all I'm going to do to save that plate, this plate here, so to save this guy, I just made a ring. It's a 6-inch ring, and I just put some put some cuts on it, bent these pieces down, and it goes in there. And that's it. All it does, it acts like a kind of a director, if you like, a jet for the flames, if I decide to bring them up that high. Over here, that's just the air feed in, and up here where the valve is, that's the the 1/2 inch oil line out of that. You can just see the end of it there. Over here, that's the bucket of waste oil. So I'm going to set about lighting it now, and it's just really to test out this tin can idea. The tin can itself won't last very long, and I was told by Norman to that he has an air gap between the top of the can and his burner inlet, if you like. So mine is going all the way to the bottom, well, within an inch of the bottom, maybe 2 inches of the bottom, and his one goes 2.5 inches or 2 inches maybe taller of the top. So it doesn't actually reach the tin; it just directs and blows into the tin. And I will try that. But I'm set up at the moment for doing it this way, so I'll just give you a look at what it, how it looks, and we'll go with it. So, same again. I'm not going to put all of that in, but just some kerosene to get it going, and I'm just going to pour it in here. Okay, and that just goes down the slot, down the chute, if you like, and into the bottom of that can. So now the usual. Turbo torch, and I'm just going to ignite it. and I'm going to switch the oil on there. So here we go. Okay, so it's working. It's lighting and smoky and horrible and everything. So we'll just close this one up, and we'll give it some oil. Close this one as well. Okay, there goes the oil, and here we go, the fan. Okay, and you can see there's no messing around with it. Wrong way, sorry about that. Okay. And it just wants to go at that. Okay, I'll open the door so let you see what's going on. And you can see the feed, the oil feeder, you know, the T-piece, you can see that smoking a bit. It's only smoking because it's acting like a chimney when the fire is off. Or not when the fire is off, but you know, when the door is open, there's less pressure in the stove. There's no negative pressure, no draw in the chimney, so it just acts like a small little funnel to exhaust the gas. But nothing at the moment in there is red hot, so combustion isn't you know, as efficient as it's going to be. But that said, there won't be any smoke outside. There's only smoke when I you know, allow air in by opening the door, give it the raw combustion mix. Okay, just to prove a point, let's have a look and see what the smoke situation is like. Okay, so maybe I was a little wrong, just a tiny bit of smoke. That's what we're burning. That's the amount of oil going into the system. That's the bottom chamber. I had a draft regulator on that, and I decided to put the optic on it. You know, just another Pyrex dish. I decided to put that on it so that I could see how well or how badly it was combusting. I do intend putting the air restrictor on it again. Okay, so that's what's happening there. It burns better once the door is closed. It gets the right airfield mix. And that's with the tin can in it. Seems to be going okay. We'll give it a shot anyway. And so it's 20 to 6 now. And I'll give it about 15 minutes and we'll see what happens, see what the temperatures are like then. Actually, before I do that, let's check on the smoke again, because it's getting hotter. And I haven't adjusted the mixes. It's just got hot enough to burn the stuff properly. And you can see the flame getting a bit lower, and down in the combustion chamber is getting hotter. The oil is still the same. So we're going to end up with a cleaner combustion happening in the lower chamber, and then, you know, a bit more happening at the top. And by the time it gets out of the stove, the gases are clean, which is great. Okay, that's it for a few minutes. Okay, hello everyone again. Alright, here we go. Same again, you can see the laser on the tank. And, you know, we're up around 889, so heading up on 900 degrees C. I could have more if I wanted it. Just turn up the oil, about 800 and... well, 890, so all but 900 degrees C down below. It'll be a bit cooler on top, or will it? I don't know. What's that? 925. Okay, so you can see it burns a serious amount of, or it makes a serious amount of heat, and it burns very reasonable on the oil. I have the oil turned up at that, so you can see it. I've turned it down. These gate valves aren't so good. Okay, so yeah, not so good, the gate valve. But in any case, serious amount of heat. In fact, I'm struggling to get close enough to the valve. to allow it in. Okay, so there you go. Now let's have a look outside and see where the smoke is. That's the oil I'm burning, so you know, no messing around with that. And that's the invisible smoke, no smoke. Okay, so burning really nice. I've turned it down a lot. That gives you a chance to see inside. You can see that tin can going. Okay, so I've just turned up the flow a little bit, and it'll take off again. But it's efficient because everything in there is red hot, so as soon as that oil drips into the container, it vaporizes, and that's it. It makes a lot of heat, savage amount of heat. I mean, I'm very warm at the moment, probably too warm, and it's you know, it's an uninsulated shed. Mountain Goat on YouTube was looking to. He commented on the on this cart. We actually call it a trolley, but and I know a trolley is something different in America, and this doesn't carry passengers, but that's what it is here. It's a cart anyway, and there's my tool setup. You know, nothing special. Just that's my handy box. I drilled holes in the sides of it, all over the place, so I could get the SDS drill bits into it, and you know, so any of the holes that were there, I enlarged, and I put plenty of them in it, you know, that weren't there, so that I could fit everything in. The deal is with it though, is if you stand everything on its end, this way up, you can get at it. If it's all lying flat on the box, on the bottom of the box, everything's on the floor of the box, you can't find what you're after. So, you know, there's still stuff in there horizontal, but most of the stuff is vertical. So that's the setup, and all it was, this was a supermarket trolley, or supermarket cart, sorry, and some, I don't know what it is, quarter plate, checker plate, this stuff, just steel, and all I did was, I hadn't any bolts at the time, so I just welded these directly on, and yeah, it works great. The box is fairly heavy. I can carry other stuff on that if the box isn't on it. You know, I can carry heavy items, stoves, and roll them around the place. It just makes it very easy for me to get stuff around. But that's that. Anyway, in the meantime, back to the original project. The stove is lashing heat out, and if I want to get more heat, okay, so that's the flow. Now I'm asking for it here. I'm going to give it a lot of heat, or a lot of oil, and I'm expecting a lot of heat anytime now. So I'll say it again, be very careful out there. If you put kerosene into an already hot stove, you might as well be throwing gasoline on it, or gas even, you know, like propane or natural gas. It will explode on you, and you could get seriously hurt. You know, it's very easy to you know, you do something and it goes out on you, and you go, oh, just throw some kerosene in, and off it goes again. If you throw kerosene in on an already hot fire, you're in trouble. It'll vaporize instantly, and as soon as you go near it with a flame, if it hasn't already exploded, it's going to go bang. And you know, you don't want to be anywhere near that, or you don't want anything flammable in front of it. You know, you're talking serious trouble. So don't do it. You know, if you're going to mess around with it, let it cool down, put your kerosene in, and then ignite it the way I did at the start. But don't do it when it's hot, because you know, it's serious. And here I've got a concrete floor, steel walls, and a good distance between the stove and you know, anything combustible. And I've fire extinguishers on hand. But you know, if this thing goes on fire, my house is okay. We'll just get the fire brigade out, and that's it. So anyway, you know, be careful. I'm very mindful of everything I do here, and you know, I fear for you know, anybody on YouTube who's trying this sort of stuff. You know, I expect, you know, that you'll be careful, and none of us know everything. And the thing is, you don't want to kind of find anything out the hard way. This thing delivers a serious amount of heat anyway, so that's my disclaimer out of the way. Be careful. Serious amount of heat. You've seen it come up again, and there's no smoke out of it. So, you know, the first burner I did is a lot quieter, and you have to get the mix right. You know, too much fuel, and you get smoke. You get the fuel just right, and it doesn't smoke. It's lovely. This, on the other hand, if I had a variable speed fan, I could increase the airflow. So you could always kind of, if you put too much fuel in, you add a bit more. But be careful, because you could melt the stove or do serious damage. you know, I'm kind of overdriving it here at the moment just for effect, but in operation, there you go, I'm turning it down now, so I'm just beyond what a drip would do. So when you turn oil on, and you know, just from the time it stops going from a kind of a drip, as soon as it changes to a very thin, skinny stream, that's it then. That's where I'm at the moment. Now what you're seeing now is unburned fuel that's gone into the system, and it's still vaporizing. That's what's causing the tall flame in it. But you can see it. There you go, the flame is getting lower now. And that glass is spotless, absolutely spotless. Now it can't be spotless if it's making smoke. So there you go. And I'll give a better detailed view of the burner unit maybe in another video. But very, very good. Very good. Noisy though, that's the only thing, right? So I'm telling you from the start, it is noisy. There you go, no problems with smoke. And I'm going to have to open the door because I'm too hot. So here's this thing I made. Okay, it's just a winch, and I put connected the wheel onto the door, and the winch pulls the line in, which brings the door up. Simple, but it works great, and it was only €50. Okay, so I'm out here for a minute because I let it go too hot and I'm too warm in here. So there you go, YouTube. Fantastic little waste oil burner, and well done to Norman in Canada, where it gets a lot colder than it does here. The tin can idea, very, very good. The only problem I have with it is this thing is kind of disintegrated. So maybe I'll make something tin can size, you know, I don't know, maybe 2.5 inch, 3 inch in diameter, and whatever height that can was, I'll make it out of some quarter steel pipe or something, and check it out again. I have that can sitting inside a pot anyway, so it's kind of, you know, some of its parts sort of situation where, you know, it's producing better than any of them alone, I suppose. Okay, so that's the situation. You've seen what I see. Very, very good burner, cheap to make, and very decent output. I mean, I don't know, this is producing commercial output. It gets hot enough to make that stove, that plate, glow red. I can see it at night time, absolutely red, and it burns no problem. It doesn't want to go out. So if you can keep the oil going in, I tell you, the only problem I see, big time problem I see with waste oil and stuff, is if you get oil with gasoline in it or something like that, and you know you're not sure of the quality of your oil, or if you're using vegetable oil and there's water in the mix, that changes the characteristics of the fire and could cause you some grief. So be very careful. But that's what I have at the moment anyway. Pyrex dish in the bottom for optics, spotless. One in the top, spotless. Smoke out the chimney, zero. So, if you needed a heat source, and this is a great one. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.